I'm Kate.
I'm Abong.
And I'm Sonia. And today we're dishing with you from Morton's in Georgetown, located at 3251 Prospect Street Northwest. And I just love our Morton's martinis. I think the color reminds you of good raw red meat.
You know what?
Rare.
It's
I
a
meant
mojito. This is their take
What
on
did
the
I say?
mojito.
Did I say martini?
It's in a martini
Yeah.
glass. Oh, it's a mojito.
It is another
It's yummy.
glass.
Yay.
Ching, ching,
It is.
cheers.
And
Ching,
part
ching.
of living a relaxed life
This is my
is having a
seventh.
good drink.
Living the good life. That's right.
That's right. That's right. And our guest
Wow.
today is Kimberly Wilson. Sorry, you're in the middle of this.
that's
Kimberly
all right.
Wilson, who's from Tranquil Space, which is eco clothing and yoga, as well as you just won the Eco Chic
Yes.
award recently
I did.
for locally from FGI
Yes.
Of Washington D.C. So congratulations
Yeah,
for that.
thank you very much.
And so, what is your whole mantra with what you're doing with the space, the clothing, and yoga?
Yeah. So the whole idea behind it is tranquility, right? So my latest book is Tranquilista. My first book was Hip Tranquil Chick. The yoga studio is Tranquil
like that one.
Space. Yeah, Hip Tranquil Chick,
Yeah,
right? Hip Tranquil Dude. And and then the clothing line is Tranquility. So it's this whole notion of trying to bring in more tranquility into our kind of crazy, busy texting lives.
I got rid of my phone, because it was causing trouble. So I
So
can
yeah, you're
understand.
experiencing tranquility
Exactly.
at the moment.
I'm in a better place right now.
I think when people say, living this tranquil, green lifestyle, they think you have to wear hemp all day long,
Right.
and that you have to be a tree hugger and not shave
And
on
not
anybody's arms.
shower.
Yeah.
But you're way hip, and you're way, classic beauty. So how can we bridge those two things of still being hip, but tranquil and being one with our universe?
Great question and great kind of observation as to what it is to be tranquil or spiritual or care for the environment. You can still be that way, but be in the world, so to speak, and enjoy style and enjoy mojitos. So yeah, and the idea is to not be the spiritual being at an ashram or in a meditation cave. The idea is to bring that into your everyday while you're discussing a raise with your boss or waiting for the metro or waiting in line at the bank. So how can we experience this in our everyday rather than, on occasional vacations?
Well, give us some of the ways that you enlighten us in the Tranquilista, that you do bring this into your everyday life. Are there any particular tips and trends in this?
Yeah, well, the big thing
Share
is
some.
So I start the book on the whole idea of spirituality. And spirituality is very different for many people. It could be mojito.
Spirituality.
It could be, well, I like to serve, and I have a recipe for it in here, tranquiltinis. So it's like lavender infused.
Nice.
But, the
Because
idea...
lavender is a common color as well, so it's important.
And the perfect scent and herb. But, the idea is just how can you bring a little bit more into your everyday? So sipping tea, getting out of nature, taking a walk, walking to work rather than, driving. I mean, little things like that. Sending nice snail mail thank you notes. I mean, there's so many ways that we can infuse our world with a little more tranquility and also the world of others.
And
Even
save the
just-
post office.
And save the post office. But even smiling at people on the street, being cordial, in a big, busy, hectic city, sometimes niceties are lost.
It's so easy to get away from.
And in Washington, I think people are so in the BlackBerry walking down the
Yeah.
street, and it sounds like what you're saying is open yourself up to the world and experience everything.
Yes.
I like that.
When
Yeah.
did this hit you? Have you always been the Tranquilista, or did you just come to a point in your life and say, you know what, I can't live this way, the rat race is not for me, I need to figure out a way to be calmer and more
Right.
serene? What happened to you?
Yeah.
How did this come to you?
So I'm a little girl from Oklahoma, and I moved here in '96 and started doing a lot of yoga and working at a law firm. And I was a paralegal and really wondering when I could retire so I could actually enjoy life. And when you're 25 and feeling that way, it's a little depressing. So, the idea was how can I create my life a little bit more? And so that's really how everything is infused. I opened up my living room to strangers. That was the launch of my yoga studio, which now sees 1,000 yogis a week, which is
In your
really
living room
amazing.
still?
Yeah.
No, okay.
That would be dangerous. Yeah. No, now we're at 17th and R. But
Fire hazard.
Yes, slight fire hazard, or I would just never sleep. But it's been a fun kind of progression of just taking control, and that's the idea behind Tranquilista, is kind of being a CEO of your own life, recognizing that you have control to make differences. You don't have to be a paralegal forever. forever. Or maybe you just start writing a green blog on the side, or you start teaching yoga on the side. You don't have to open a studio. But what is it that brings you joy and bliss, and how can you get more of that in your everyday?
You have the ability to, you're asking other people to slowly inject little nuggets of tranquility in their lives so that they can slowly make a transition. It doesn't have to be a complete, career change, but can you give me an example of what one myself can do in order to have a more tranquil
An injection.
existence?
Right, an injection, I like that, like a shot of tranquility.
Yeah.
Well,
Not medical, of course.
Yeah, not medical. But, one thing is to just really recognize and get clear on, like, what are you passionate about? I was actually meeting with someone last week who's an attorney who was, like, crying. She's like, I don't even know what I'm passionate about anymore. And that's so sad, isn't it? We just lose touch with our passions because we're doing what we think we should be doing. So really getting in touch with that and doing it on the side. A lot of people cannot leave their full-time job, and they may not even want to. But what are some things you could do on the side? Maybe you love animals. Could you volunteer for the Humane Society? Could you dog walk on the side? Could you take your dog to the assisted living center? There's so many ways in which you can do your passion and just continue to inject it, and maybe it will become a full-time job.
I loved your acceptance speech after the
thank
FGI award for EcoChic. It was I can't remember what you said, but I remember sitting there thinking, yeah, it was like, oh my God, it's so
It was an aha moment.
It was an aha moment for me personally. And can you repeat that real quick?
Of course, yeah. So it's Sanskrit. So we say this in yoga a lot. Loka samasta sukhi no bhavantu. And it translates to, may all beings everywhere be happy and free. May the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. And so the idea is really keeping in mind, how do your thoughts, words, and actions make a difference to yourself and to others in your everyday? Because we have the opportunity to make a difference or not. And it can be as simple as a smile. It really can be.
Well, I hope that your thoughts and words and your action of being on this show surely teaches our readers something. You've definitely made an impact on our lives today. Read the Tranquilista.
Namaste.
Namaste.
And find out more about Kimberly's tranquil space and all the things she's doing to make sure that we have some tranquility in our lives. See who we're dishing with next time right here on the District Dish.